Alright guys, welcome to the video. We're going to be looking at a mastery game that I had in the Selma. I pronounce this Selma on Prokhorovka. I know it has been a very long time since I have recorded a video and shared a video with you guys. It's been probably about 3 weeks. I did go on vacation, and when I got home I had a cold. I was sick. You know, when you travel, it's just you're around so many people in the airports, and I did get sick about 48 hours or so after I got back home. I started getting the sniffles, and I'm like, great, I'm gonna have a cold now. So I did play though. Watch this. I'm gonna zoom this out so you guys can see what happens here. I slammed the EBR 90 with an entire, pretty much an entire clip of HE, and I guess the Blesk also wanted to push into me. I don't know why he thought this was a good idea, but he's going to get wrecked for it and pay the price. And he should have been shooting me with HE. He was shooting me with AP, and that's a big mistake. But we're able to do 1250 damage into the EBR 90, and we get the ramming damage from the Blesk. So we start out with 1500 damage, but we lose half our HP. Probably not really where I want to be. I'd rather have more HP and have less damage right now, but it is what it is. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Selma. This is, again, this is a mastery. I did an insane amount of damage, not even that much spotting. I think it was just a lot more damage than spotting, but also some spotting because it's Prokhorovka. You know, you're going to have the spotting damage as well. But this is probably the best game I've played in this tank so far. Now, the thing with the Selma, guys, and this is going to be a very long video, so I'm going to try and slow down everything I'm going to say about this vehicle, but really there's just one thing I have to say about it, and that is this tank is not really a light tank. It does not have the mobility of a light tank, hardly. It does not have the size of a light tank. The concealment, I would say, is average. And the gun is not a light tank gun. I mean, it's a burst damage gun. And it's very different than almost anything else in the game. It's basically a tier 9 Leopard, or if you want to call it a tier 8 Leopard or tier 10 Leopard. The 8, 9, and 10, they're like playing the tier 5 German Leopard, right? It's a machine gun. But the cool thing about it is that you don't have a limited range, right? So, forgive me, guys, I'm still a little bit congested in case, you know, my voice is not full, and you hear me clearing my throat and all. But the cool thing about this vehicle is that you don't have a limited range, right? With the Leopard, you have limited range. With the Covenanter at tier 5, you have limited range. The thing that makes these tanks cool is you can spray halfway across the map, you know, half a clip, half a magazine, and you'll still hit shots, right? The big difference that I found, though, between the Blesk and the Selma is that the Blesk has way, way more rounds. You do less damage, right? But it has like twice the rounds in the magazine. And I actually found myself at range doing more damage with the Blesk than with the Selma. Now, as I continue to play the Selma, the burst damage actually, I started getting more damage overall just because you can do more damage in a shorter amount of time, and also the HE hits harder as well, I believe, and overall the AP even hits like, it's like 2 damage points higher than the Blesk, right? But I want to say that it's almost close to the same clip potential damage, and this is something that I could have pulled up for you guys, but because there's only like half the shells in the magazine, if you know what I mean. But the cool thing about the Selma is that you can get rid of those shells a little bit quicker, right? Or get rid of those rounds a little bit quicker, because you just don't have as many of them, right? So you could put a clip out faster, put a magazine out faster. And that's one good thing about the Selma. But again, guys, no mobility. This tank is so slow. It is so fat. Like, you will put yourself into places where you think you're covered, and you're going to get hit because the tank is literally like a pancake. This thing is gigantic, man. It's gigantic. I have put myself next to like even like a Tiger tank, and it's almost as big as like a Tiger tank, a little shorter. But I'm telling you, like this tank is so big. You in most situations you cannot play this thing like it's a little G-Sword or something like that, right? Don't do that. This thing is literally bigger than the Hawk 30. You have to play it as such. It is a very, very large tank. And you can see I'm literally sitting where some of the tank destroyers sit. We have an EBR 90. If we didn't have the EBR 90, I'd be trying to make more active runs here. But you guys know with this newer random event that they put into the game that it kind of takes the bush line out here. So I'm just hanging out. I'm dancing around. I have to do this because I have OCD. I'm constantly on the WS keys, and I'm just dancing, dancing, dancing here. I'm waiting to see if someone's going to try and push this so I can get the spot for my tank destroyers that are kind of sitting, not even in the back, they're basically sitting next to me because I am so far back. That is how passive I am with this vehicle, and I have done this with other vehicles. But like the thing is, man, if you're in a G-SOAR or even 90 or AMX or something like that, you could probably get away with being like here. It's just this thing is so big, man. You can't even fit it in a bush line. Like, it is ridiculous. So I'm letting the EBR 90 kind of run around, do his thing. He's over here right now, kind of coming back over. He's spotting the VK. And now, since I haven't seen anybody in the last minute or two or whatever we were sitting there, I'm going to start trying to run this ridge line. But look how slow this vehicle is. 60 kilometers an hour. Like, this thing is just so bad, guys. So I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to come over. EBR90 is also joining me. And he says, get ready to line. So I'm like, all right, let me join this guy. And I'm going to come up. I'm just going to make a pass here. I am able to outspot the Selma. I'm going to take a shot from the Scorpion. It is what it is. It was a very, very aggressive pass for me, but I kind of wanted to do that because I knew the EBR was coming over. So if I can take a shot, it allows the EBR 90 to not get focused right away, right? I am taking shots here at the RHM. I'm taking shots at the Scorpion. All these tanks can be hit with the HE, so I'm getting very, very excited. EBR 90, I don't even think he's taken a hit yet. He's literally just run circles around these people, which is why I think these wheelies are ridiculously OP when it comes to a map like this. Because you could just run circles around people. But I'm going to come up. I'm going to join him here. I'm just going to be trying to be careful of the VK over here. And I'm going to come up and over and try and see if I can spot these guys and just kind of stay in the area, right, without being lit myself. So I'm going to come up right here. Scorpion appears. I am going to shoot this guy. And unfortunately, I think I do. I thought I got spotted here. But at one point, I believe I do get spotted. We're going to take some shots at the Scorpion here. I'm able to clean him up. And then we do get spotted here. The T95 lights me. I don't know if it was proxy or just because I shot really close to him. I am able to dodge the arty though. I'm thinking that the VK is probably going to hit me here or something, but they're just not fast enough, and I'm actually able to get away, which was awesome. So we're at 3 kills here, 3,600 damage, and 925 spotting. I'm sitting in this bush because I have a feeling that the T95 is going to come up and over. So I'm just kind of like waiting to see if he's going to press me. He doesn't press me. I sit here for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, maybe even longer. I move. I turn, and I'm just kind of like waiting. I'm like, is this guy going to come after me? Because the game's basically over, right? So he doesn't come after me, so I'm like, all right, let me reposition, and now I'm going to go after this guy. And it's probably smart that he doesn't do that, because if he backs himself up, which he did here, then he's full HP, right? But he's able to put himself way in the back and just hug the red line, and then he can probably get another shot or two off. Because the T95 has amazing frontal armor. So I'm going to pull up right here. Once I know the 704 has pulled back and all, I'm just going to run right up to the side of this guy, put this entire clip or magazine into him. I'm going to pull down. That's 720 damage. Going to fast forward just a little bit here until I reload. Here we go. I'll give you my view. And I do put like a whole nother magazine into this guy again. We're hitting him here. Some is penning, some is not. And yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to get the cleanup kill. I guess I could have aimed it a little better. The T95 has even some trollish side armor. It's just the way that the armor works on that vehicle. And eventually, these guys are able to clean them up. Maybe no, I didn't think I got the kill here. And we end with 4,875 damage, guys. 1,531 assistance. We'll check the M plates. I think there was a little bit in the M plates blind, but 3 kills. And this was a wonderful game, right? But I wanted to bring you guys this game as my first video back, right? After about 3 weeks, and just show you guys what I was playing, what I've been up to, and this is really hit. I've really just been playing the Selma, and these tanks are very easy to mark. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. The marks of excellence on these vehicles are very low. I think it's just because a lot of players are just getting them and trying to like run out and YOLO people with the machine gun or whatever. So it has not been hard to 1, mark the Blesk, and 2, get up to the 2 mark on the Selma so far, and probably I will get the 3 mark as well. I'm close to, I think I'm at like 89%. You guys know how this works. This was my last game that I played in this vehicle, and now it's adding this game to, again, this game, because you're seeing it on a replay, right? So I think I'm at like 89% or something like that on the mark. But this tank is just so tricky and difficult to play as a light tank. And that's what I really want to emphasize to you guys before I show you the M plates. Like, if you're struggling with this tank in particular, realize that the tank has no mobility. The tank has insane, it has an insane size, right? It's gigantic. Like, just look at it compared to the dead Scorpion over here, or like even the Emil. Like, this tank is freaking gigantic, man. It's literally the size of this like hut, this like shed over here, or whatever you want to call this giant shed. This thing, it's a house. It's a small house. You cannot play this thing like a G-Sword. Don't play this thing like an Even 90. Don't play this thing like a G-Sword. Don't play this thing like an AMX 1390, Batchat 12T, whatever the heck, guys. Whatever example you want to use, you cannot play this thing like a passive scouting light tank. It is literally bigger than the Hawk 30. You need to play this thing like a medium, basically. When you need to do light tank stuff, just be very careful. Don't overextend like I did with this pass over here. You know, when I did like one of these, right? Don't do that. Be very, very cautious and careful with this vehicle. It sticks out everywhere. Don't put yourself into one of those situations where you run and try and grab cover behind a building or something like that. You're so big, man. Just play it passively like I did here. And that's, you know, I think the best way to do it. You know, I play very, very passively as a light tank player, but if I were in a passive scouting light tank, I probably would have done what the EBR 90 did in this game. You cannot play this vehicle like this. It's too big. It's too big to do like these aggressive active runs. I'm telling you guys, like, just poke ridge lines and stuff. Be very, very careful and cautious with this vehicle because it's freaking gigantic. And if you try and do these massive active runs and you're trying to like wiggle away, you're not going to be able to do that because this thing is literally a pancake. It's a gigantic pancake. It's so easy to just auto lock and shoot. Like that's what everyone does. I wouldn't even be surprised if even if on the move, the Scorpion just right click, left click me. That's how big this tank is. Don't play it like that, guys. So, end plates, here we go. Was a mastery, 1970. Spotting was the total. We did 4875 damage. This is getting close to 7K combined, right? Like 6,800 or something like that. It was a very good game. Was a mastery, high caliber. And here you go. This is the team score. We were top here. EBR 90 also had a very good game. Shout out to this guy, Epic Butcher from the Psycho Clan. Never heard of the Psycho Clan, but that's a pretty cool name. Their Object 704 did his best. He did a lot of damage here, 3 kills. But I think overall we were just the better team, right? Their light tanks made some very stupid plays at the beginning. The EBR and the Blesk were just stupid, man. I hate to say it. Like, I'm not going to be trying to be nice about it. They were stupid. Don't do that, guys. Don't throw your tank away that early. You're a light tank on Prokhorovka. I have to be careful the way I say this now. I can just say Prok, but I say Prokhorovka, but everyone's like, it's Prokhorovka. I'm like, all right, you know, fine, fair enough. But on Prok, guys, right, you always have to be very, very cautious about reserving your HP, conserving your HP, right? Do not throw away your tank at the beginning of the game. It's really, really, really dumb, and your team's going to be blind, so don't do that. Anyway, here's the detailed report, guys, and I know this video is getting pretty long. 448 shots fired, 319 direct hits, 230 pens. You guys know I always like to say how many shots I fired and how many hits and pens, but like with this tank, it's kind of funny because it's almost irrelevant, right? You have a machine gun, it's like whatever, man. But we did fire 448 rounds and hit 319 of them, pen 230, and there you guys go. We were able to use the HE quite effectively also in this game against like the Scorpions there at the end. Use the HE, guys. The HE is monstrous on this vehicle. If you get a tank that you can pen with the HE, load the HE every single time because you will melt stuff off the map with the HE. That is also what makes this tank stand out. Not only is it a terrible scout because it's fat, but it makes up for it with that burst damage, guys. The burst damage is freaking insane. So make sure you stay alive so that you can build up that burst damage, and you will 3-mark this thing easily if you do that, if you just stay alive. Look, it's at 2,600 right now after this game for the 3rd mark, and the last time I looked at this, it went down to like 2,580 something. Just for a comparison, like other vehicles at this tier are over 3,000 combined. Like the 100% of this vehicle is like even still a little lower than what most are for the 3 mark at this tier. So just play this thing cautiously, guys. Don't be stupid with it. And I'm telling you, you'll literally 3 mark it. This thing is so easy to mark right now, or you will at least 2 mark it. Just play it safe. Be careful. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let you go now. Bye-bye.